Look who it is, none other but the man himself, Kerry Wood, looking exactly the same as he did 25 years ago out there on that hill. 20 punch-outs, Kerry, 25 years ago. Where does the time go?
I don't know. It makes me feel very, very old.
How you feeling, though? You feeling good out here? Glad to see all these people?
Great to be back at Wrigley always. And driving in, I was like, this is kind of May 6th weather that I had that day. So it's, at least the rain's kind of peeled off, and hopefully we can get this one in.
Okay. Kerry, take me back to that day. Like, obviously, it's all about Phil. You got your regimen. You come in, you do your thing. How was the bullpen before that game?
Terrible. Like I'm
telling you, it's unbelievable how it works.
Terrible. I didn't throw one strike, not one. Like, to the point where I shut it down and flipped the ball to Phil Regan. And was like, all right, let's just go.
Wow, man.
Yeah, even walking after the first inning, walking back into the dugout, I punched out the side, but in my mind, I was like, I still have no idea where the ball's going.
Even with everything looking like, I mean, that right there.
Yeah, like that one. I wish I could repeat that one for 13 more years after that pitch, but I've been searching for that one ever since.
What'd you tell yourself as you were getting ready to go into that start? Because like you said, if everything was not working in the bullpen, that was quite a lineup. A pair of Hall of Famers and Derek Bell, the list goes on.
Yeah, it was, again, my fifth start, so like I'm trying to get my feet wet still, see if I even feel comfortable in the clubhouse, and it was just Terry Adams, one of the guys in the pen, was like, hey, man, like we're kind of hanging out there. Why don't you do something today? And I'm like, oh, no, I got to go deep into the game. So I'm just thinking, like, all right, give the team a chance to win. We lost a few in a row. Try to kill the losing streak and get us back on track. And, it turned out to be that day.
Outside looking in now, right? We both are. And, we're doing different things. How do you see the game as far as just, guys being consistently – out there doing their thing and getting outs consistently, but the longevity part of it. You don't see a lot of guys sticking around 10, 12, 15 years.
Yeah, and I actually think back to the guys before me, or the guys like the older guys that when I came in as a rookie, those guys that were kind of wrapping up their career. And I appreciate that a lot more than I did in the moment.
Right.
And looking at, again, watching today's game, going through what I went through and understanding what it takes to play 10 plus years, 12 plus. I played with guys that played 18, 19, 20
That's
years.
what we saw.
That's what we saw,
Right.
and that's mind-boggling to think about that kind of longevity now.
Kerry, what do you say when it comes to velocity? We've seen guys strike out 20 before with a lot of velo, but I feel like there was a real paradigm shift. Once we saw you lighting it up 95 plus as a starting pitcher, we started to see the velocity trend upwards in the game of Major League Baseball. Do you feel that you were a trendsetter?
I don't know if I was a trendsetter, but I feel like everybody throws 100 now.
Right.
I mean, really, it happened so fast, and well, 25 years happen fast too, so maybe we're just getting old. But you're right. The velocity around the league is crazy. How much they've picked up in the last 10, 12 years, and so I do still like to watch guys actually go out and pitch, and it's fun to watch guys come in and overpower guys for a closer or a few innings as a starter. But I really, I sat and watched Steele pitch the other night, and just watching him do what he's doing and carving guys up, and it's just for me that's the kind of the pitching I like.
Yeah. When you talk about a guy like Justin Steele, who we just had on our set earlier in the show, Marcus Stroman, Drew Smiley, Hayden Wisniewski, just to name a few. I mean, how good can these guys be as you look at them?
They can be really good, and as we all know, as you get into the postseason, and that's what wins games.
Yeah.
It's pitching and defense, and we got guys that want to go out and compete, know what they're doing with the baseball. They're all fun to watch them go do their work, and so I'm looking for big things.
Well, you touched on the velocity. You're a high school coach nowadays, and it seems like back in our day, there weren't a bunch of guys that threw 90 miles an hour, but it seems as if every high school team has at least one or two of those guys. How's your squad looking?
Squad is good, and we do see those guys that come in and throw, and I say throw because at that age, all they want to do is throw hard.
That's it, right?
And the high school kids, all they want to do is throw hard and put a 9 in front of that first number.
Yeah.
But pitching's going to win.
You got to work up to that.
And again, these guys are 16, 17, 18 years old, and I wasn't throwing that hard in high school. I hit 95 maybe once, but I was pitching at like 92, 91, and got drafted at that. But these kids there's some arms.
Cliff, did you hear what he just said? He said, I wasn't throwing like that. I was just throwing 95 in high school. And
one time.
We did Icons of the Ivy a few months back.
Pitching is key.
And we were talking about guys who had pop in high school.
Right.
D. Lee was there. Demp was there. And they were asking how many home runs they hit in high school. And they asked this cat, how many home runs you hit senior year high school? He's like, I don't know, not that many. I think like 11. 11 home runs senior year high school.
I think it was 10, but either way, like I was hitting 5th or 6th in my lineup.
Right.
We had it was Texas baseball, man. They could swing it.
Yeah, man.
Okay, also hit a playoff home run. We know about that. But when it comes to you just looking at what these guys bring to the table, is there any one pitcher, maybe if it's not even on the Cubs staff, around Major League Baseball who closely resembles your game? Who do you see?
You know, there's not. I really do enjoy watching our guys, and I think Stroh goes out and puts on a show, and just the way he goes about his. And that's a whole nother level that he has that I didn't. I just wanted to, I put my head down and walk back to the dugout, and that's part of his game, like that he can.
One thing it just came to me when I watched Garrett Cole. I start thinking about Kerry Wood. Like when you think about, in the zones, like so we have our hitters meeting. So we go and Kerry is going to feature. He's featured. His fastball going to be dominant with the secondary stuff. If it's on, it's going to be a tough day. So we're battling that, right? When you think about Garrett Cole. The one thing that's probably settled Garrett Cole is, in my opinion, is the pitch clock. He's less of a thinker.
Yeah.
So as a youngster, it felt like Kerry was out there just like, I'm getting the ball, catching, put a sign down, I'm throwing it.
Yeah. I mean, because you're young, you feel good, right? Like if the arm's there, you're just like, all right, if I can get a breaking ball over, I'm going to win today. And that's that.
How come they can't understand that that's the secondary pitch is going to take you to the promised land?
If you can throw that for a strike and consistent and behind in counts, you can throw a 2-1 breaking ball for a strike to get it back in the count and even it up.
You win.
You're going to win.
Okay. Well, how about this one? Just a little bit warmer than it was 25 years ago to the day, but if there's one piece of advice that you'd hand out to Drew Smiley, Kerry, what'd you tell him?
Man, just go have fun, enjoy it. It's over before you know it, right? Like there was stress that I put on myself and had injuries and trying to come back and just not enjoying the process all the time. You're playing at Wrigley Field.
Just ball out.
Just go.
You never wore sleeves when you pitched, did you?
I couldn't.
Can't be out there
feel right, or you're just too tough?
I just didn't like the way it felt. No, I was freezing. But, I mean, I figure the pitcher, we're the only ones on the field actually sweating.
Right.
It's like, so we got to sweat, our heart rate's going. So I was bundling up when I got back in the dugout, though.